In the latest bid to curtail Myanmar's military junta's ability to generate revenues, the United States Treasury Department has imposed sanctions on a Myanmar state-owned gems enterprise. Now, the Myanmar Gems Enterprise, which is part of the country's mining ministry, has been placed on the Treasury's special designated nationals list. The move blocks Americans from doing business with the entity. Now, Myanmar is the world's main source of jade, a very sought-after stone in China. It's also a major source of rubies and other rare gems. And this enterprise issues permits and licenses for mining precious stones within the country. It also connects revenues from the sale of gems and jade. Now, a statement from the US Treasury Department reads, and I quote here, "This action highlights the Treasury's commitment to denying the Burmese military sources of funding, including from key state-owned enterprises throughout Burma," adding that the United States will keep increasing pressure on the regime's revenue streams until it ceases its violence, releases all those who have been unjustly detained, and also lifts martial law and the nationwide state of emergency, and removes the telecommunication restrictions, and also restores Burma to the path of democracy. This is the American expectation. Now, by this move, the United States has targeted the generals who seized power in Myanmar in the month of February, and the coup since has resulted in deaths of nearly about 600 demonstrators. Along with other Western nations, the United States has already slapped sanctions on generals involved in the coup, as well as the two conglomerates controlled by the military. Now, the junta's leaders have so far refused to reverse their course. All right, now to give us more insights in terms of what the American strategy will be pertaining to the Myanmar coup, we're joined in by our correspondent Kate Fisher, who is joining us live from Washington, D.C. Kate, this is something that was expected. Sanctions have been imposed by the United States. But how far will the United States go in trying to see whether things that are happening in Myanmar in the aftermath of the coup can be reversed?
Yeah, this is the question that reporters have been asking the Secretary of State, Antony Blinken, several times over the past weeks. The Treasury Department has imposed these sanctions. He also spoke about this, saying it was part of the United States government's efforts to increase the pressure on the military, the generals in charge of this military coup in Myanmar. As you say, these particular sanctions targeting them where it hurts, in their coffers. This gem enterprise is one of the biggest money-making enterprises that they have. As you say, Myanmar makes more jade than anywhere else in the world, and so as well as rubies and other gems, it brings in a lot of revenue for the military, and it will hurt them in terms of their revenue. But the argument from those who would like to see further action from the US is that this simply hasn't worked. Putting those sanctions on the generals involved in the coup hasn't had an effect, and those sceptical of what's being done don't believe that this is going to have much of an effect either. As you say, we've already had 2,800 people arrested, around 600 people killed, according to an association that helps political prisoners, a charity that's come out with those figures. So far, these economic sanctions haven't had an impact. The US is hoping that these further ones will. The question is, what further action are they ready to take if it doesn't work?
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.